Fingerboards! Mini skateboards! Hey guys, welcome back to another fingerboard video. I'm in lockdown, and if you didn't already know, I have a fun little hobby, which is fingerboarding. I don't make a lot of videos about it, but you guys seem to be enjoying the fingerboard videos so far, so let me know if you want more. I recently started fingerboarding again. I picked it up when I was really young, back in like 2014, 2015 around. When I got back into fingerboarding this year, I was absolutely blown away. So many things have changed, so many things have evolved. For example, we have urethane fingerboard wheels now. It's absolutely crazy to me. So I thought a pretty cool way to compare how fingerboarding has evolved is by seeing how tech decks have changed since I was a tiny child. Here we have one of my oldest fingerboards to compare. Right off the bat, look at how crazy of a difference that is. And they come with stands now, which is pretty cool. This was not my first tech deck. I used to have a lot of these, but I broke them because these are not built very well. I fingerboarded a lot. Excessive force. Little disclaimer, I have changed the bushings, so I have DIY bushings. I noticed that back then every graphic was a toy machine graphic. Nowadays they're getting graphics from like almost every single company out there. It's super cool to like collect miniature versions of real skateboards. These are no longer manufactured, so I'm pretty sure you can't even get any of these anymore. This is not the oldest model of tech deck, but it is one of the older ones. This is around when tech decks started becoming a little bit more popular, so that's really cool. And I don't know if you can tell, but this tech deck's a little bit beat up. So I decided to get one of the older models before I left Hong Kong. Skate City, where I used to get my fingerboard stuff back in Hong Kong, still sold something similar to these super old tech decks. Boom! This is not the same model as this. Ever so slightly different. I have no idea where Skate City found these older-ish tech decks. This is the oldest one, this is the slightly newer one, and this is the newest one. I won't talk too much about this one because this one isn't too significant of a change. This one just kind of fascinated me. You can tell that the tech deck logo has changed its position. They've kept the same trucks with the horrible yellow plastic bushings, which break super easy. But the really cool thing is that they have graphic wheels, which not even the new tech decks have. And I think this is around the time that they started integrating different graphics other than Toy Machine, so that's pretty cool. But let's move on to the models that we actually care about. You know, the ones with the more drastic differences, because that's what we're here to talk about. Take off the stand real quick and check out the specs here. Look at how much bigger that is. I was so shocked. Tech Deck has upped their game a lot. When I saw these new tech decks, I had no idea that the new models were this different. First up, the logo has changed. It's a little different from what it used to look like. Since we're comparing some physical differences right now, let me pop out my ruler. The older tech decks were around 25 millimeters. Pretty thin, honestly. And the newer tech decks are 32 millimeters. Like, that is a huge difference. I noticed that fingerboards have been getting a lot wider. I thought 29 millimeters was still popular because that's what I used to ride, but people are riding 34s now. And speaking of wider, you can tell that the trucks are also wider to fit the fingerboard. The newer fingerboards are also a few millimeters longer. I am blown away by the trucks though. These trucks shocked me so much. I hated tech deck trucks because of the metal, the design, and the bushings were just really bad. They have upped their game. I'm not sure if you can tell. The hardware is slightly better. They have washers now. They have actual rubber bushings, which you can't really see right now because it's getting squished by the washer. Maybe if I take it out right now so you guys can see it. I've taken off the hanger to give you guys a better look. I tried to take off the hanger, but the bushings won't budge. That's what the bushings look like. Yellow cylinder is very bad. And now, not sure if you can tell. Come on, focus please. Hopefully you guys can see, but that is a rubber O-ring. That is a huge step up. And they have pivot cups now. I had no idea how much fingerboarding had evolved, but tech decks are a great example. The trucks also seem way better quality. These newer trucks are a lot shinier, and this is very matted. Feels like brass, or it just feels so cheap. And this does feel pretty cheap as well. Compared to like professional level fingerboard trucks and even China trucks now, which have evolved, it's just honestly way better for grinds. If I get my rail here, it just feels pretty smooth. Compared to the old tech decks, it's got a scratcher sound. Another thing, the kicks are a lot more aggressive now. I like aggressive kicks, so that's pretty cool. And the concave is way different. It's got like this rainbow bridge concave, and you can like see the marks of where the concave starts. It's a really weird design, but you can tell that the shape is very different compared to what it used to be. It used to be very flat, and I guess these are medium kicks. Very small nose and tail, whilst the nose and tail are way bigger over here. They've also got pencil-shaped nose and tail. I don't like pencil-shaped kicks. Personally, I just don't like the way that they pop. Like, it's a lot more defined pencil shape. You can kind of see that the older tech decks are a little bit pencil-shaped, but they're still more rounded off. I have not picked this thing up in literally forever. This thing is like so tiny. Compared to what fingerboards are now, this is my main setup, it's tiny. You also notice that on the older tech decks, they kind of have like this like ring dip on the outside to kind of keep the graphic in the center over here. And the newer tech decks don't really have that. They just slap on the grip tape like an actual skateboard. So I think that's pretty cool. And that's it for the physical differences and similarities. On to some other slight differences that you might not be able to tell. This one's way heavier. Yeah, this one's way heavier, which is pretty good because this thing's like just way too light. I remember like throwing my board around whenever I tried to learn new tricks. So this might help a little bit, but the issue is that it still has sandpaper grip tape and the weight does not help it. So I don't get a lot of control on this, just because the weight and the sandpaper don't support each other, because you can't get it to stick to your fingers. So that's something I noticed. You can easily remove this grip tape and put on foam grip tape. I think these are pretty good examples of how fingerboarding has evolved. Also, one thing, the wheels are slightly smoother. If you put these wheels on a surface, they roll a lot smoother for some reason. Don't know why, but they just do. Whilst these try and force it to roll. Fingerboard sizes have gotten way bigger, wider trucks now, experimenting with different molds, which is really cool. Back then there weren't so many small companies making fingerboards. It was mainly yellow wood and Berlin wood. Still can't get over how small this thing is. I remember it being way bigger because I learned all my basic tricks here. The ollie, kickflip, tray flip, you name it. And I remember having to open up my fingers as wide as I possibly could to do a trick. I'm not the only one, right? I think it's a pretty good time to actually sesh these tech decks and see how they skate. Let's go. It's like skating a toothpick. That was a little hard. That took me, what, like 3 tries? 4 tries, I think? I don't remember. Ooh, first try. That was actually pretty lucky, because usually I rocket flip this new tech deck, but that was pretty solid, not gonna lie. Tray flip time. 1. Ooh, 2. 8. 10. 10 tries. 1. 14 tries. Wasn't the cleanest tray flip, but I will count it. My fingerboarding also is not at its A game today. I think my arm is a little tired, so that might affect it. I'm not good with heel flips, but let's try a heel flip. Let's do. New tech deck. 1. Well, that's all I can do. My heel flips aren't the most consistent thing, so... Honestly, both tech decks are pretty uncomfortable to me, mainly because I don't have foam grip tape. But these new tech decks definitely feel a lot better. Let's pull out some of my obstacles and get an edit in. See what I can do. I just showed you guys some basic tricks and lines to show you the performance of the old tech decks and the new tech decks. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I love reading your comments, and I reply to every single one. Overall, what I found with these two was that this was a lot better because I've been getting used to bigger fingerboards now, so felt more comfortable with me, but it doesn't flip very well, and I really don't like fingerboarding with skate grip. Plus my hands sweat a little bit, so it lessened the grip even more. Since I'm used to bigger boards now, this tiny tech deck was very hard for me to land, and when I did land, it wasn't the cleanest thing. But in general, tech decks have gotten a lot better, and it's way easier to learn tricks on this than this. But I do not like doing kickflips on these. Anyway, this was like a super fun video to make some observations on how fingerboarding has evolved. If you did like this video as much as I did making it, smash that thumbs up button. Let us YouTube know that you're enjoying my content. Hopefully they'll push my content to other fingerboarders and skaters alike. And hey, I really want to hit 2K, so if you want to help me, go ahead, smash that red button. It means so much to me, and you guys mean so much to me. But hey, if you're already subscribed, you guys can also ring that bell, ding that bell, do not forget. If you haven't already, because YouTube will notify you every single week when I upload a new video, which is super cool because you might even be able to be the first person to view, like, and comment on my video. I hope you guys stay safe, and hopefully you're not in a lockdown situation like me and you're still able to skateboard. Stay safe with Corona. Peace out. I will see you next week.